Well, welcome back to the channel. I love doing videos like this because it's going to be a number of different subjects. You saw by the thumbnail, and the reason you probably clicked on this video is the blade sharpener. I don't know anything about it as far as if it's good, if it's not. The cost was like 60 bucks. I have watched some videos on it and read some reviews. I'll tell you, if it does what they say it does, I think we're all going to benefit from it. A quick and accurate way of sharpening your own lawnmower blades. I got an amber beacon for the tractor. You know, I plow sometimes near the street. And other type of work, you know, where I'm going in the street, on and off the trailer and what have you. I just think it's a good idea to have that. We're going to do that. Also going to winterize the pressure washer, which is a long time coming. It's already starting to fall below freezing at times. So I need to get that done. First though, I'm going to take the Rebel, got to get the oil changed, and then we're going to get to work. Thanks for joining us. Well, welcome back. It is a beautiful, almost winter's day. We just have about a trace of snow. Actually, south of us, down by the Buffalo Bills Stadium, and from that point south over the weekend, they were measuring it in feet. Not so much here. We don't get the snow that they do. Anyhow, I'm on my way to get an oil change in the Rebel. Don't worry, this video is not going to be about oil changes. You may recall from a previous video, I started off trying to go get an oil change and ended up breaking down. Had to take the truck into the dealer, and I had a bad injector. Anyhow, I want to ask you guys something. When I grew up, the vehicles that we used and worked on were simple, right? You could do tune-ups and oil changes and basic repairs without a lot of difficulty. You know, honestly, this vehicle, I've actually got to go to the owner's manual and find the dipstick for the transmission fluid. I can't find it. Anyhow, got a question for you guys. How often do you change the oil in your vehicles? You know, I just don't trust these manufacturers anymore. The tractor's a great example. Now, forever it was your first 50 hours and then 200 hours after that. 200 hours seems like a long time to me. How often do you change the oil in your vehicles, and what kind of oil do you use? Do you use synthetic oil? I actually trust your opinion more than what I read in owner's manuals and what have you. Sometimes, you know, I just wonder if there isn't an agenda there with the oil companies and what have you. Just put down in the comments, how often do you change your oil, and what kind of oil do you use? I'd really like to know, and I'm going to share the results on the channel too. Hey, if you enjoy our videos, right here would be a great time to give us a thumbs up, and if you've subscribed, thank you very much. And if you haven't, we'd love to have you part of the family. Yeah, well, live and learn, I guess. Most of you guys probably already knew this. Yeah, I'm no mechanic. So they tell me there that as far as transmission fluid goes, there is no dipstick. So back in the days when you'd put the car in park and then check your transmission fluid, I guess those are gone. Now it's, when it's time to change it, you change it. But there's no way to monitor it in between time. At least he says on this vehicle. I don't know. Is that accurate? I mean, is it that really that stupid? I just don't get it. I took the bucket off because I want to get the grapple put away. I'm going to put the bucket back on because I use that when I flip the mower deck to get the blades off of it. So a little moving around here. So this is a tight fit, and you may ask yourself, geez, why don't you raise that top shelf? Well, I can't. That's where the box blade goes, and that's at my maximum lift height. So there's no option. It's just tight. I've got to be careful. All right, so before I put the mower deck on the bucket and take the blades off, I want to make sure that this is going to work. I did read some things online that this sharpener may not work for all cutting blades, specifically mulching blades. I've got mulching blades on the mower deck for the X350, so we're going to put it together. I believe there is an attachment you can buy so that it does work with mulching blades. I don't know. As I said, we're going to find out if this thing's any good together. So the first thing we're going to do is put it together. I think I'm going to mount it to the end of the bench, and yeah, we'll see if it's any good. I think I'll put you guys on time lapse so I can get this thing installed and not waste a lot of your time watching something boring. $62.99 from Amazon. If I recall correctly, you can get it red, black, or green. It says it's a savior of old blades. Excellent quality. Wide application. Blade angles from 15 to 45 degrees. Blade width from 1.69 inches to 3.54 inches. Maximum thickness 0.28. Maximum length 30 inches. So I think all in all, it's pretty universal. The question is, does it work? All right, well, stupidly, I didn't think about the fact that I can't determine if this is going to work for the blades until I have them off. So this is why I use the bucket. You've seen in some of our other videos where I cleaned the bottom of this and put the rust inhibitor on, of how nicely this works. This is how I've cleaned the deck in the past and how we'll get the blades off. All right, so we'll take one blade off and we'll see how this works. All right, so I originally mounted it in this orientation and then realized I've got to get the blades on. That didn't work. So what you do on this, they give you a variety of different sizes that's supposed to be able to fit each grinder. I found one that fits mine. And so what you do is it goes in there. The blades will orient themselves here, and I have it set, there is a gauge on here. I have it set at 35 degrees, which should be perfect. So, well, right now I'm going to try to mount the blade and see if it fits. Okay, as you can see, my blade does fit on there, and I'll show you how I did that. I think the guys that have said it doesn't fit maybe didn't realize how much you could adjust this. According to the directions, this will take 3.5-inch blades. Mine are only about 2 inches. So what you got to do is a couple things. First of all, loosen these so that the blade goes underneath on both sides. And you could even reverse this adjuster here. So the bottom line is that if you have mulching blades, a lot of guys said, hey, the rounded blades don't work. They do work. All right, so then, now the way that you loosen these is with a T30, okay? And then obviously you want to make sure that they're all snugged up tight so that the blade doesn't move. As far as your grinder goes, now I had my handle on the other side. I had to reverse it. You slide the grinder in here. You want to make sure that, as you can see, it's on the middle of the grinding wheel. All right, and then you tighten this down because this whole sleeve moves in and out. So that's how you adjust where the grinding wheel hits it. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and sharpen these blades, but first I've got to clean them up. If you don't, they won't balance properly. I'll show you guys how you set it up. Okay, so obviously you want the part you're going to sharpen facing up. Get it under these screws. Tighten the handle as much as you can. And then take your T30 and just make sure all those are good and tight. You obviously don't want this thing moving on you. You want the side of the blade that you're going to sharpen on the inside. Okay? You know, I hope this does work, because honestly, I mean, for this price, I mean, you really can't beat it. So this goes in here. All right, so as you can see now, this should ride right along the blade. I've got this set at 30 degrees, and that is right underneath the blade. And you want to, after you adjust it, set the thumb screw down. And as we know, when you're sharpening lawnmower blades, you don't want to get a razor sharp edge on it. That means the edge is very, very thin, and you're more likely to put a crack in the blade. So I'm just going to flip this around now and do the other side. So again, I'm loosening this. Going to turn it this way. Underneath these little thumb screws, you want your blade right in the middle. You should see the screw below it, the tightening screw that hooks to here. Get it good and tight. Grinder back in. And it's just that quick. Now, they do give you a balancer with this. So we're going to balance it. We're going to see how we did. These are the edges, and honestly, looks pretty good. Really does. This is the ASPL amber strobe light for the tractor. You know, the more I think about it, I probably am not going to keep this on for the summer, spring and summer. So it does come with a cigarette lighter. So I think rather than hardwiring this, I may take the easy way. So I don't know, let's go figure it out. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I cranked open the back window and going to pull the cord through. I think what I'll do is I'll set the beacon in place. I'm not going to go on top of the ROPS. I'm going to go on the hood, the roof. The ASPL has a 2-year warranty with it, and if you have a problem, they tell you to contact them. They say it should be 100% waterproof. If it's not, contact them. The waterproof level of the light is IP67. So, you know, again, you shouldn't have any problems with water intruding in the low voltage electrical system. I'm going to pull the cord through and make sure the window still closes. Hey, not the best way of doing it, but again, I'm only going to keep it on for the winter months. I'm looking outside right now and it's snowing, but it's pretty warm out. I don't know that it's going to start sticking. Probably won't. Cigarette lighter is in the glove box. I'm going to get it plugged in. I just want to see if this thing works before I go through an awful lot of trouble. Actually looks pretty cool. See what it looks like from the front of the tractor. Yeah, from the front of the tractor, looks pretty good too. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so we're going to tighten up on these cords now, and one of the drawbacks of using the cigarette lighter is that it stays on. So you've got to unplug it, you know, which, I don't know. If we get ambitious one of these days, I don't know, maybe I'll hardwire this thing. Depends how much I like it. All right, so as far as the pressure washer, this is you could find these on Amazon. This particular one is made by Briggs & Stratton, and this process is extremely simple. However, what I like to do is to remove the valve. This normally screws right in here. I just don't want anything sitting in the valve itself. So I took that out. This is the part that hooks up to your hose. So over on the other side, this is where you would hook your garden hose to. So it's simply a matter of threading this on. And I'll take you back around the other side. All I'm going to do is push down on this button here, and all goes well, you're going to see product come out of here. I mean, it's literally that simple. There is a little cover on here. You pull that back before you press it. I've had this little can here for, I think, 3 or 4 winters. So this is extremely economical to do. My neighbor, he did not do it one year and he lost his pump. It cracked. I also, I'm not going to demonstrate it. You think all you guys know this, but during the winter months, because the barn is not heated except for when I'm out here working, I also like to pull the little pepcock at the bottom of the air compressor too, because we all know that water settles there. And I've never had a problem, but I just think it's just smart to do. Yeah, again, this very economical. You know, I don't have the best pressure washer in the world. It's just an electric one, but I don't use it that much, mostly for the vehicles around here. But this just makes awfully good sense to do. Well, I'm going to hook the trickle charger back up, simply because I don't know how long it's going to be before we plow. I mean, I got to tell you, I grew up here, and I don't ever remember these long stretches without snow in November, December, but for us, several years, not just 1 or 2 years, this is how it's been. Matter of fact, it's highly questionable, even though it's snowing right now, if we're going to have a white Christmas, which doesn't make me happy, because as you know, if you spend any time at all on our channel, I love snow. I really do. Hey, you know what else I love? You guys being here, and this is one of my most enjoyable things in life. It really is being with you guys and working on the tractor or whatever else we're doing here in the barn or outside or working for somebody. I just enjoy it so much. Thank you all. God bless you all. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.